Hello everyone. Welcome back to Core Stack Academy. In this video, we are going to learn Amazon SQS in .NET with a real-world example. We'll understand what SQS is, why we use it, how producer and consumer work, what is a dead letter queue is, and how MediatR help us process message cleanly inside the consumer application. So by the end of this video, we'll build a simple customer system where the API sends messages to Amazon SQS and the consumer application reads and process those messages. So um, before get into hands-on on SQS, let me quickly give a brief about SQS. So what is SQS? So SQS stands for Simple Queue Service. It is a fully managed queuing service provided by AWS. So it allows one part of the application to send a message and another part of the application to process it later. So um, yeah, so the so why basically we use SQS? So we use SQS to build loosely coupled system. Without SQS, one service may directly depend on another service. So but with SQS, the producer just send a messages and continues it works while the consumer process the message independently. Okay. um, so let me quickly um, uh, help you with configuring your system to connect to the AWS. um, so so first step is to get the access key and the secret access key. So click on this security credentials. You will be getting access key and secret access key. After securing access key and secret access key, you just type in terminal AWS configure, um, give the access key and secret access key. Here it's blurred. So again, the region name which you are using. In this moment I'm using yeah, AP Southeast 2. Yes. So and the default output format JSON, right? So once this is done, we will be seeing creating a queue in AWS. I hope you are already created AWS account. So it's just a free trial account. So you can, after creating that one, just you click on SQS here. So simple queue service. I already created few of the queue message queue services. Let me create one more for this demo. I'll be selecting the standard queue and um, name will be customer demo. I'll not be changing any of these details, um, and just click on create queue. Okay, so yeah, we have created customer demo, a new queue. So now let me quickly um, jump on to the main producer API. So what I have done is I created a simple CRUD application where a user can create, uh, update, delete, and get the details of a customer. So I'll not be going through all of these code files. The scope of this video is to explain only on how using queue services in our applications. So um, let me explain about this queue messenger. Yeah. So this class is responsible for sending messages to Amazon SQS. It implements the SQS messenger interface. So we are implementing SQS messenger interface. And Amazon SQS is basically used to communicate with the Amazon SQS. So we also created options queue settings. The class type used to retrieve queue settings from the configuration app settings.json. We are using a private string variable for storing queue URL and a constructor for injecting these um, objects uh, through dependency injection. Um, we also created a generic method to send any type of messages to SQS, that is send message SQS, send message async. Um, First, we try retrieving the queue URL using get queue URL async. Let me go into the definition. So here we are fetching the queue URL using this get queue URL async method. This value is basically stored in the app settings. And will store in the queue URL. So basically this is queue URL is basically one-time initialization, will not be initializing every time. Um, so now let us prepare a send message request um, object. So it has different properties such as QURL message body, and the message attributes. Here we are storing the type of message, for example, customer created. So this is the type of message attribute. These are custom message attributes. The size can be up to 10 message attributes as per the AWS documentation. And so here use send message async to send this uh, message request to our SQS so to our queue basically. So since we have created a queue with uh, customer demo, let me change this value in the app settings.json. Customer demo, right? So let me rerun this application one more time. um, so let me quickly explain about consumer also. So this is basically a background service. um, So it continuously polls for Amazon SQS and messages from the queue. So background service is a part of ASP.NET Core hosted services and runs automatically when application starts. So we are you creating the instance for Amazon SQS to communicate with SQS. Again, we are trying retrieving the details of queue inside the queue settings, and a mediator to send the each message to up to its handler, and a logging um, logger for logging the message. So in the constructor, we are basically injecting all these dependencies. This method, so we are using execute async. This method automatically runs when the application starts. It keep on running until the application stops. So first we try retrieving the details for queue URL, and now we create a request object how we want to receive messages. So we are initializing queue URL, message system attributes, uh, and message attribute names, and maximum number of messages in one call. So we are creating a loop that keep on polling the queue until the service stops. Um, so here this is the main method of SQS to retrieve the messages. So for each message, we are creating a for each loop and try retrieving the message type, and we are decentralizing the message body using JSON serializer dot deserialize. Um, then after we'll be sending the message to the appropriate customer appropriate handler. So here we have created three handlers which basically implements. So queue consumer service, here the mediator send method will basically send the message to appropriate handler. So let me quickly run this application and see I, uh, how the producer and consumer application uh, communicate each other over SQS. As you see, both the applications are running. Um, we need to update this customer demo queue value. Let me rerun this application, consumer application. Since we already send a message from the producer, now we should be able to see the value. Yeah. So as you see, we send a request from producer um, with this ID C79 starts with C79, and the result is C79. Yeah. So so this is the message type. So now we try debugging the application, how this basically um, uh, process or send the messages line by line. So now let me send the create another request. So yeah, so we got the QURL customer demo. Now we are creating the request object and we are sending the message. I think we already got this message here. Yeah, C05. So let me quickly send one more message from the producer. Yeah, we got this message in the consumer. In the message, you see the count is 1. Um, Let me debug. So we got the message type, that is customer created, and the type also. We have received the type value as well. So now we are decentralizing the message body and sending it to the appropriate message handler. Let me do F11. So now we have the control has been moved to customer created handler. So now we'll be logging this message that um, the message has been created. Yeah, the message has been created now. So yeah, this is basically a just a tiny producer and consumer application. And as a part of this SQS tutorial, we also need to discuss about another topic, that is dead letter queue. So what is basically a dead letter queue? Sometimes a message may fail processing. So what basically happens is we are sending a message from producer to consumer, right? So sometimes um, if the consumer is not in a position to retrieve the message, what basically happens is um, the message will be moved into the dead letter queue. And also one important point, while we are consuming a message, after consuming a message, it's our responsibility to delete the message using um, using a receipt handle. So as soon as after receiving the message by the consumer application, we should delete the message from the queue. Otherwise, um, it will be available in the queue for the long time and eventually move to the deleted queue. So um, this is a small um, a tutorial about SQS. Let me um, share the AWS documentation and all the related code files um, through GitHub repository links. Yeah, that's all. Happy learning. Bye.